Hello, Martin here with your property clinic. Yes, make sure that you like this video and make sure that you subscribe to the channel as we eke our way up to a significant number of people. That's different. Everyone's significant. One is significant, but 10,000 would be slightly more significant in the eyes of people who look at the significance of these kind of things. Thank you for being a subscriber if you are one. Tell your friends if you're enjoying this stuff. It's hashtag AskMartinMonday with questions on a Monday on my Twitter at TV Martin Roberts. Let's get on with the questions. Kevin Sermon. Hello, Kevin. Hi. With I'm a Celebrity being done in a Welsh castle, would you have preferred to do what you had in the jungle? No, I'm glad I'm enjoying the thing in Wales. Although I have to say, it's a bit easy, don't you think? I mean, give them some hard stuff to do. It's a bit of a cushy old thing going on at the moment. It's like easy peasy. Where's the pain and suffering? Not that I particularly want to inflict pain or suffering on anybody, but part of I'm a Celeb, isn't it? I think it's a bit cushy. I think, well, give them something to chomp on, or no food or something. Of course, in the jungle, we had it tough. Anyway, I'm glad we went to Australia. We had a great time there. Alan Baxter asks this. Good morning, Martin. Hello. Do you think the current property boom will continue next year despite the economic spending due to COVID? Well, all the indicators are pretty healthy at the moment, and there is talk of potentially extending the stamp duty holiday. Now, that would definitely extend the current boom, which seems to be going on at the moment. Of course, in March, the end of March, we also have the probable dropping of furlough, and that is going to unleash something into the market in terms of people's what's going to happen, basically. I don't know. Property markets don't like uncertainty, so my guess is that there will be a bit of a wobble at that point, but I keep on coming to the old adage that property is a medium to long-term investment, and any ups and downs are hopefully temporary. And if you're clever, you can make money in any market conditions and turn whatever market conditions are to your advantage, which is why we're doing property training courses, because we can teach you that kind of stuff. Check out martinrobertspropertyeducation.com. There's lots of information about those on there. So Alan, I would not panic, and generally if you own property or you're thinking about it, just focus on your little bit of things that you can change rather than the things that you can't. Don't try and guess too much about the future. Who knows? Meteorites and all that. Steve Jones. Hello, Steve. Hi, Martin. Hope you're well. Well, I'm all right. Given that a lot of people will probably continue to work from home after the pandemic, how would you see that affecting house commercial property prices? Less demand in towns and more in the boonies? London price slump in particular? Well, London's a capital city. Capital cities generally always do well. So they may be a bit of a correction as people move out. Less people dependent on living close to where they work. More people working from home. There's lots of interesting things going on in the world of commercial property. You would have thought it was pretty destitute, but there are some big investment funds buying into commercial property. So what do they know? Perhaps they're thinking about converting commercial to residential with relaxations in certain types of permitted development that you can do without going for planning permission, and converting offices into flats is one of those with some caveats. Just got to do your research in all these matters. Do your research and then look at what clever people are doing. That's not necessarily that they're cleverer than you, but there are a lot of people out there who spend a lot of time analysing, more than you do and more than I do, unless you're an analyst, in which case it's the same amount as you do. But it's certainly more than I do, because they spend all their time doing it, and I don't do that. I make sandwiches and feed the cat. I don't have a cat. So I feed the dog. I don't analyse all the time. Lewis Vernon. Hello, Lewis. Do you think Homes and Hammers should explain more about stamp duty when a property is valued at the end of the refurbishment to give viewers a true reflection of profit? The difference that has on people's profit is huge, and not a lot of people know about it before they enter the industry. Well, you pay stamp duty when you buy a property, so the price they paid would have had to include stamp duty, and we normally say taxes and fees. So we try and take it into consideration. But yeah, whenever you buy a property, don't forget that generally you're going to have to pay stamp duty. Unless you're below £500,000 at the moment, it's the only property you own, in which case you're eligible for the stamp duty holiday, blah, blah, blah. But in general, you need to set aside some amount of money for stamp duty. And obviously that comes off your profit. But I think the figures we kind of talk about, I think we take into consideration. I'll double check with the office, but I think I do. Derek Mann. Hello, Derek. Morning, Martin. Hello. Do I need a damp-proof membrane DPM if laying new engineered floorboard on concrete subfloor and the top floor 1960s flat? Wow, this is a specific question. Flat is split level, so it's our bedrooms under the floor. No reason for water to come up, but it's better safe than sorry. No, you don't need a damp-proof course. Because damp-proof course is to stop water rising. There won't be any rising damp on a subfloor, on a top floor flat. That would be a very clever bit of water. But what you might want to consider putting underneath the floor is soundproofing, because that's definitely something that's going to affect the things that are below it. So soundproofing more than waterproofing is something I would consider. Mark Dobson Hill. Can you get mortgages on properties at auction? Assuming you didn't offer before you bid, you do. Now the thing with mortgages on properties at auction, there isn't a lot of time, right? So what you do is you get something called an agreement in principle based on you. So you'll approach a mortgage lender and say, hi, I'm Derek, or I'm Mark Dobson Hill. How much money would you lend me based on who I am and the kind of property I'm thinking about buying? They would then give you a principle of what they would lend you. And then you go along to the auction, you get the auction catalogue, and that's normally produced 5 or 6 weeks before the auction itself. And then you try and get a valuer from the auction, from the mortgage provider round while it's on that marketing period. And they will do a survey and give you an idea of the kind of amounts you would go up to or could go up to on that property. Every mortgage provider has different criteria, so you really need to talk to a good independent mortgage broker, because I'm not financially qualified to give you any financial advice. But if you talk to an independent mortgage broker, they will tell you the requirements of different mortgage lenders. But there are mortgage lenders out there who will lend on auction properties if you give them enough time. Victoria Walder. Hello, Victoria. Good morning. We're currently progressing with purchasing of a relatively old house. We had a full survey and came back structurally sound, but significant woodworm and damp. We're going to send in an expert for each and get ideas of cost sort. Should you do anything else? No. If you get the experts involved, that is good. That's the main thing. Woodworm and damp, they're not the end of the world if you get them treated, and if in both cases they haven't caused a lot of damage. If the blasted woodworms haven't chomped through all the floorboards and all the joists, and if the damp hasn't caused the floorboards and joists and important structural bits to have rotted away. But an expert should tell you about that and also give you a price for sorting it out. Frank Nicholson. Hi. Martin, I was wondering if it's possible to show the figures in detail graphically. It's similar to Escape the Country. Really? Is it too much to show at each stage, but perhaps just at the end of each property? Well, I'll have a word with the team. Numbers on screen. Could do. Yep. Okay. Well, thanks for that, Frank. I will consider it. I'll put it into the pot. Gainer Alwood. Hello again. Hiya. Love home design. Have you ever been to a house you've been disappointed at when the cameras have done the after shots? I certainly have. Or was it several? Well, sometimes people don't do what I hope they would do. Other times they do. They surprise me. Yeah. Sometimes you go, you could have done more, but anyway, people try their best. Richard Hogan. Hello. Hi, Martin. Hi. Are auction prices in the UK dropping, and do you think demand for rental property will reduce due to COVID-19, i.e. student lectures online, office workers, blah, blah, blah? Well, actually, I think all the anecdotal evidence is that auctions are doing very well, and actually auctions are actually getting good prices. So I think auction prices aren't necessarily dropping. Demand for rental property, I would say, is not going to change particularly, because people need places to rent, and if they can't afford due to financial problems or difficulties or just uncertainty, or just because they don't want to, they don't buy, then they'll rent. Student property, that's a different kettle of different kettle of fish, kettle of whatever. So students, yes. Well, I think the whole online thing, is that going to last forever? I don't think so. Office workers working from home, that could be an interesting one. That's your commercial property again. So jury's out on that one. Don't know. Oh, instant question. Stephen Goddard. Because this year is pants, how pants is this year? Super pants. Is it too early to start putting up the Christmas decorations? Absolutely not. I'm having a debate with the family. I want them up now. They're saying we have to wait until just nearly the beginning of December. I'm going, no, put them up now. Sparkle, sparkle. There's nothing better than a house filled with Christmas decorations. Put them up. Stephen, go for it now, tomorrow. Do it. It's a weekend. Whatever. Do it. I'm totally behind you there, mate. Those are your questions. Don't forget, you can ask me more questions on Ask Martin Monday, #AskMartinMonday on Twitter @TBMartinRoberts. Make sure you like this video and make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will be back with more of this stuff next time.